Lonnie Jackson, and at the moment, I'm just sitting here. So, see what's going on out here.
Good.
Those citizen gate mayor's office. Lama Bay Area Youth Defenders member.
Patrice Taylor, I'm a member of the Sound Squad, and that's on to the Carbondale, yeah, Nursing Carbondale Neighborhood Association.
Dorothy Betty Sierra Park, resident, vice president of User for the Life Dream Defender. Just a lover of beat. Charlie Cerebro, David.
Letitia, City Safety Sanitation Inspector.
Adrian Walker, here, safety sanitation inspector.
The citizen people for the Codes Department.
That's everybody? All right, all right. All right, well, thank you all, and thank you for being here, braving the weather and all of the good stuff. And so we're gonna follow the agenda as written. I don't have it in front of me because I'm working on the tech. What we got, Vice President?
And kind of bring anything to your guys' attention that you know should be addressed, and give you guys the overall kind of crime slash what we're doing in the community. So I'll go over the stats. I pull them month by month. We did have a little bit of an uptick in residential burglaries. I think we've been steady around 2. This month we had 4. However, one of them was domestic. No firearms were taken during these burglaries or anything like that. There was 1 vehicle burglary, and it was to a work truck trailer where a load was taken. It was actually a city vehicle where they took it off. No auto thefts, so I think we're going strong on about, I don't know, maybe 4 months in a row with no auto thefts from here. We did have 1 recovered in Child's Park though from Clearwater, and it was over on like 13th Avenue. I won't get the 100 block, but yeah, it was over on 13th Avenue. And it was recovered from Clearwater. There is a suspect in the case. There were 2 shootings into dwellings, and what I mean by that, there were rounds that went into somebody's houses. So two different houses. They aren't connected. A detective is working the one. They don't have a suspect yet in one. However, there are 2 suspects in the other one. Not going to provide any details in that. Isolated incidents, not a pattern or anything like that. There were 2 unarmed robberies, and they were both domestic related. We'll take kind of an argument led to something was taken from somebody's hand, which by statute is an unarmed robbery. Now, as far as what we're doing to be proactive, I think this is the most like direct control across walk and talk. So direct control is an officer will get to an area, whether it's just to get out and talk with people,
Slide that down, there's the microphone.
a crime brings them to the area, things like that. They keep an eye on the area, get out and talk with them. There were 18 of those done this month. So I think that's probably the highest I've reported since I've been here. It's quite a bit. And then another thing that we're doing is we're getting out and we're talking to people as well. And it's kind of one of the same. It's called citizen contact. You're getting out with people and talking to them. So we've been very active this month in Child's Park as far as getting out. So that's really all I have to report. Does anybody have any questions for me, whether it's about the stats or anything else?
I do. Was the shooting in this area?
It wasn't on this section.
Okay.
Yeah.
I asked about the depth.
Bless you.
I guess it was still being investigated. Has there been a depth in the last 2 months or?
I remember what you're talking about. So I remember the last meeting that happened over in, what we call District 1. So on like Martin Luther King and, I think it was 11th Avenue. I want to say 11th Avenue, maybe 12th Avenue, maybe it was 12th Avenue.
But not South Park.
No, not Charles Park at all. But that, if that's the same one you asked me about last time, then yeah. They are investigating it. As far as I know, the case is solved.
Any other questions for Officer Blatch? Great job.
Okay. So not to be rude, I do have to bug out. I got to pick my son up from baseball. So, the life of a dad. Thank you. Anybody have any money? Okay. All right. Hey, good to see you guys.
Up next, I think we have, codes compliance. Carl, you up?
What's going on?
Right.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Carl Gordon, City of St. Petersburg Codes Department, just basically here to let you all know what the stats are in the neighborhood, in the Charles Park neighborhood, area. Basically, what we do, we, respond to the complaints, we respond to, sight on scene as far as violations on properties, that's residential, commercial properties, all properties, we, respond to, complaints and also sight unseen violations. So currently at this time in the Charles Park area, the highest case, well, there's a total of 213 cases throughout Charles Park. The highest one is property maintenance cases. That's mainly stuff that's wrong with structure, like mainly a structure like a house or commercial building or those types of issues. There are 64 of those. But the good thing about that 64, of those 64, there's 28 in-team cases, meaning that these property owners, mainly the homesteaded homes, are getting some type of assistance from the city. So of those 64 property maintenance cases, 28 of them are getting assistance. So stated those assistance goes to homesteaded homes, property, for the property. We have noticed that there is a slight increase in permit cases that's starting to go up. Maybe we just know some people are doing work without getting proper permits to their homes. So basically, if you have a question about your permits, what type of permit do I need to get, we highly suggest that you contact construction service. And you can contact construction service at the MSC building, which is 1 4th Street North. It's on the first floor. Or you can email them at permits, PERMITS @stpete.org. If you have a question about it. Also, you could Google in City of St. Petersburg building permits. Google that in, and it should take you straight to the web page that's answer any questions, give you more information about that. Also, there's noticing that there's an uptick in inoperable vehicles that's been noticed. So that's one thing we've been noticing quite often now is that vehicles that's no longer in good condition, that's undrivable. Either there's flat tires, damage, or there's no valid tag on it. So we're starting to notice those, and we start cite those, just giving out an update about what's going on at this time. So those are the updates, brief updates that I have. I wonder if you all have any questions and concerns.
Do you have less workers now?
No, ma'am. No, actually, I probably just expanded.
Okay. That's it? No follow-up?
No.
Any other questions for Carl related to codes compliance?
I have a personal question after the first, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carl. Appreciate that.
Okay.
All right, sanitation. Who's coming? Who's?
It'd be me.
Okay.
It'd be me.
So that over 50 grunt. That's exactly what that was. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
All right, so I want to apologize in advance. I know you guys asked for tonnage by department last month. Unfortunately, I do not have those numbers. I'm going to blame it on my coworker. No. Anyway, I do have some numbers as far as call-ins. So for the month of May, from you guys, we had about 50 call-ins. From the inspector's perspective, we had 76. This is us just kind of driving through, seeing illegal dumping, things of that nature, and writing it up ourselves. And then from the C-Click Fix, 6. For the month of April, and that's what's current for May. For last month, we had 80 call-ins from you guys, 134 from the inspectors driving through, and then a total of 15 C-Click Fix. So just want to ask that you guys, keep up the good work. We appreciate it. You are the eyes and ears of sanitation when we're not there. Believe me, it really, really helps. So I do want to reiterate, as far as call-ins, if you see contaminated like containers, like the recycle bins, please let us know. We're really, really trying to get those off the streets. A lot of times trash, food, everything is in those bins, and it's just cooking.
Yeah.
It's just cooking. So if you can just call those in, and we'll make sure we get out there and get those picked up as soon as possible. Hurricane season is coming. Not last year, the year before, we had a lot of trash cans that ended up missing because people left them on the curb. So just be mindful even when storms come through, like I guess the other night, when it's pretty decent. These cans will disappear, I promise. So we can just make sure we pull those. So
Is there a fee if that happens? They do charge?
not during the storm season, no.
But otherwise?
Yeah, usually it's just negligent. 'Cause sometimes, especially during the July 4th weekend, New Year's Eve, people throw things in there, the container burns down.
Okay.
You will be charged accordingly if that happens. But just, for a can disappearing, no.
Okay.
We'll make sure we get you another one as soon as possible. So I do have some good neighbor guides. Sorry. Okay, I do have some good neighbor guides for informational purposes. I also have cards for the inspector that's in the area. So I'm just going to leave these up front. You guys will be, more than welcome to take them if you like. So any questions?
Any questions?
I do have my computer as well, so if you guys have anything currently that you want to address, just let me know before you leave. I'll get that address and we'll get it scheduled. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, my question is, with the C-Click Fix, how long does it take from you receiving that incident report to getting, say, items picked up from something illegal dumping?
It's a pretty quick turnaround because once they receive it, C-Click Fix, they bounce it over to whatever department is responsible for that. Then a work order is generated. So I want to say 24 hours. So it's a pretty quick turnaround. We get generated work orders each day. So like when we go in the morning, we'll have a whole different staff. And it's 6 inspectors throughout the city. So we pretty much, get our work, and we're pretty good at getting everything done on a daily basis. Nothing really is left over the next day. So because we know it's important for, different things that come up. So, all right.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you.
All right. Any other city departments before we hear from city council? Any updates from the office of council member Givens?
Necessarily updates, just to let everyone know, I'll introduce myself because I haven't been here before. So I have been here for a long time, not in this capacity. But my name is Millicent Battle, and I do work with Councilmember Corey Givens Jr. So on his behalf, I do apologize for him not being here. He did have a scheduling conflict, but our office is here. So if you have any questions, any concerns, please reach out. Just let you know I'm here. And I was in the HERS meeting when you presented on the Storm Squad, and I was really excited about it. So I'm happy to be here again to hear and see all of you. So I'm here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Right. And did I forget any other city department? No, I didn't. All right. Well, thank you to the city staff, administration, and council as well. And now we get into our guest presentations and the first, well, really, this is like a series of like one presentation with three presenters. And so we are grateful for the Storm Squad being here to talk about some updates. And so first up, we have Dr. Bernarly Dixon. I'm gonna get your slide.
Correct, I did my slides.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for having us this evening. My name is Erica Araya Hall. I am a executive team member of the Storm Squad, and we're here. One, as we know, hurricane season is approaching, and so it's time to learn what we can do to save ourselves and save our communities and our neighborhoods. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Dr. Bernarly Dixon.
Thank you so much. Next slide, please. All right, so years and years back, I attended this meeting, and back then we developed something called community resilience information system for entire city of St. Petersburg, broken down by neighborhood. So if you look at the QR code, you can go there and you can find out the socioeconomic vulnerability, the environmental hazards this community have all over the city. And what is interesting, we did a lot of survey, and you can actually compare your neighborhood with another neighborhood. The way a community knows that they are disenfranchised by seeing what they do not have and other communities have. Right? That's the only measure. So this system actually allows you to see all of it, and you can compare, and it's available to you. Next slide, please. So what we have done, we created a way that is available to everyone. You can point to a QR code, that's yours, right? It doesn't cost you anything. We do research, we built it, so you can actually see and access to this data, right? So you can actually then make decisions. That's called community-driven advocacy, data-driven advocacy. Next slide, please. So what we have done a couple of things. One, we actually created a Chris Hazard flood app, and I'm going to show it to you momentarily. Today, for example, the torrential rain that came, and if you knew the areas were flooding, you can warn your neighbors, right? So that's a really powerful tool. Again, it does not cost you anything. We do not track you. So it's just to help you make some decisions. And the other one is the static cameras. These cameras, actually, I have one put it in right here in Child's Park also, and I'm going to talk about it momentarily, show you some pictures. Next slide, please. So the static cameras, we are going to talk about it during Helen. Next slide, please. So they look like this, and the cameras actually solar powered, Wi-Fi generated. Again, the data is available to you, not only to us, it's anybody who wants to see it, they can see it. Right? You can actually see, if you know where you live, you know the camera, you can actually look at it, how much water is going up and down, right, in the river, or in the creek, or in your neighborhood. The flood app I mentioned earlier, you can actually see the neighborhoods or areas that are being flooded. Now we have in the back end, a lot more sophisticated algorithm to extract the exact height of the flood. But for you guys, you can say flooded or non-flooded, right? You can use it just like the Waze app. Everybody knows the Waze app. Right, the one that's a police here, it's same day, it says a flood here, don't go there, right? It's a really useful tool. So this is how our camera setup looks. Let's go to the next one, please. And these are, we have throughout the county, we have the cameras. We have many within the city limits, about 20 cameras within the city limits, and we have total 35, actually 40, we'll have total 40 throughout the county. Okay, so next slide, please. So here are some data in Bartlett Park. May I turn on the light, please, so you can actually see something better? Wow, well, that's good. Right? So here's the Bartlett Park, and if you can actually see, this is the Helen, real-time data from Helen. We know how the water was rising and what time and how much, right? So if you look at it, about 8:30 p.m., we have all entire pole, that's our 5-feet pole. You can see it, but if you go back around, say 10:30, you can actually see only 2.5 feet. So water rose in 2 hours, the water rose 2 feet. Right?
So each one of those marks represents a foot?
6 inches, yes. Okay. Yeah, so this is actually orange and black together.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So you can actually see, and then you can actually see 3.5 feet of water, which is this much of water, and in real time we are collecting the data. Now, if you can send it to your neighbors and say, look, water is rising, do something, you can actually benefit from that process. So we have the active camera for Bartlett Park. We had some cameras active.
not the child's park, because we had some issues with getting the permission to install in child's park. They gave me under the oak tree. I said, this is solar power. What am I going to do under the oak tree? So it took me a while to figure that one out. But now we have it active one. Next slide, please. Again, this is like maturity shows. You can not only see the water is rising, you can actually see what time in a time basis, right? You can see when the pole is actually going back and erosion is happening. So the infrastructure destruction, these are important information for you guys, the communities, to know what is happening in your backyard, right? So go to the next slide, please. So this is the child's park. This is our camera actually located right here. You can go outside, you can see it. Don't touch it. It's tall enough. It's tall enough. We only look for we do not collect pictures of people, animals, none of this. We just collect the picture of the pool. That's because you can actually see the height. Next slide, please. So here is the live dashboard. If you point that is available to you today and tomorrow and rest of the day. You can actually see the water gauges, right? So you can actually see this is the gauge and camera. And when you go to that point, if camera 14 is your camera number, if you need to know. And if you go to camera 14, it will show you live right at that point. It will also show you 2 reference images, meaning how it should look in the daytime and how it should look in the nighttime. Because storm, everything looks different. So you have a reference image, so you can actually see how it changed. Again, live, and you can click on it. Next one, please. Again, there are some data. I actually put it in some data. I was looking for when it rained, and I was actually making the PowerPoint yesterday. So this was the live image from yesterday. And this is the May 1st, because we had 2 inches of rainfall. So I would actually, I can actually see in it how it's rising and falling, right? Now, unfortunately, this data, we did not have this data during Helen, because the creek actually connects to a lot of watersheds, and there's a lot of flooding that can happen. And it's really useful to know ahead of time and also in real time as the things are happening, right? So next slide, please. So here, what we do with the camera, if you want to know, these are different cameras during Helen. We can actually create something called flood inundation surface, because we actually measured 3 feet over here, 2 feet over here. We know how the water is flowing. We can do this for entire county and especially for the city. Next one, please. So here are some examples. No name storm. This is August 8th, Bears Creek. That is of the First Avenue, and you can actually see the water is rising. In 15 minutes, look at the time, 5:45 p.m., 6 p.m., 6:45 p.m., how much water rose, and we can actually record that. And this is the area, if you recall, 2024, September 4th, Wednesday afternoon, everything was flooded, cars were floating away by the 4th. Do you remember 54th, that CBS? That's the data. We can actually collect this data. We can share with you. It is available to you right now as we speak. You don't have to do anything except point and click on the QR code. Next, please. So what we do with it, is this a PowerPoint or PDF?
That's PDF.
Okay, the one board. So what we do with those cameras, we can actually house by house, we can see based on your lowest elevation level, what will be flooded, what will not be. Okay. Right? So the blue ones is the flooding potential. If you have a 3 feet water, the house that has a lowest elevation less than 3 feet, those will be flooded. We can actually say that, right? We can actually map it. This is actually animated picture. You can actually see how the things changes. Next slide, please. So again, the benefit of the camera structure, every 15 minutes during the storm, we can collect the data. And we survived between Helen and Milton back to back. So I'm very proud of my lab students that we built it in the lab. Everything design built in my lab. Next one, please. Right. So the Chris has an app again. Next one, doesn't cost you anything, point and click. This is the storm I was talking about, 58th Avenue and the 4th Street that actually flooded. If the flooding happens like this, you want to inform your neighbor, or you have to know so you can avoid it, so your car doesn't stall. So the Chris Hazard platform, that's what it is going to allow you to do. If you just point it on it, this QR code will take you to the app. All you have to go take a picture, upload the picture. Next, please. So again, this is how it looks. You go to the app, you point to the location, you upload the picture, and it goes with it. Again, this is the QR code, and this is how it shows up. So just like a Waze app, when you go to the Waze app, it's a police reported here, you see a police's head, right? And you see the picture. Over here, you are going to see the flooding picture. Okay, this is what we call Waze for flooding. Next one, please. So again, these are the data we collected actually during Hurricane Helene. People uploaded the pictures, so that also allows us to have additional data points that we can then. So here's what during Hurricane Helene, as the water was coming in, people were going out there uploading pictures, and then we can see it. And then we have other gymnastics that we can do to know whether it's 2 inches, 4 inches, 8 inches. We can actually extract the flood height. But for your purposes, you just need to know it's flooded, not flooded. Next, please. So again, the goal of it, information is power, and another tool that can help you know what is going on. And that doesn't cost you anything. It works in sun and rain. So it's really useful tool for you to have it. Use it to enrich your information base, right? Next one, please. So here, all of those dashboards, when people upload various pictures, that's how they show up in the dashboard. And this dashboard actually shows the height of the water, right? We've got 2 inches of water, 10 inches of water, or then. So go to the next one, please. And this is what we have developed. We actually worked with the community to design the app, right? We brought in a couple of designs to the community and asked them to tell me whether what you like, what you do not like, because we didn't want to develop something and give it to you to use that you did not think that was useful to you, right? So these are various sessions. We actually developed the app and we also tested the app. Next slide, please. So I'm going to hand it over to Erica Hall and Mary Parole. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dixon. Give another hand.
Yeah.
This work is extremely important as someone who's had the opportunity to see firsthand and learn so much about the connection between this and the community. So thank you. What's powerful about this work is that it combines community knowledge with real-time data and technology. So Child Park is already part of that work through the camera infrastructure and flood monitoring efforts happening right here in the neighborhood. So now I'd like to introduce Mary Burrell from Pinellas County Emergency Management. Mary works in whole community engagement and helps connect residents with preparedness tools, emergency notifications, and county resources. Programs like Alert Pinellas, Ready Pinellas, Hurricane Preparedness Guides, and Special Needs Registration. Hear me, special needs registration during a disaster and before, during, and after a disaster is so important that you know where you can go for family members with special needs, neighbors with special needs, how you can help them. So, Mary, thank you for being here tonight. Take it away.
Certainly. Next, please. So yeah. So
Keep going.
Wait, I guess that was my clue.
But wait.
So, as you all know, Storm Squad, our work is in these neighborhoods: Bartlett Park, Harvardale, Childs Park, Jordan Park, Campbell Park, Palmetto Park, Lake Maggiore Shores, and Lilman. So these are the neighborhoods that the data from Dr. Dixon and Chris showed, and Dr. Bryant was there with us from the beginning also, to show the neighborhoods that are most vulnerable during a storm. So what does the Mod Squad do?
The Mod
Squad. Storm Squad. Okay, that's okay. Call us whatever you want.
for a good shot.
Whatever you want.
Could you go to the next one, please? So one of the biggest, not the biggest, okay, one of the things that we do with the Storm Squad is teach the community. We have the members that come in, we have meetings, we have community events 12 or 4 times a year. And when we have those, we bring in organizations, talk about legal services, talk about Red Cross services, long-term recovery, programs that are on in the city, especially. And can you go to the next one, please? And on that one, oh, wait 1 second. So it's all about making connections, and it's all about neighbors helping neighbors. So I'm sorry, could you go back one more for me? Thank you. So we do use social media, but this is one of the best examples so far of why we have Storm Squad. So we're connecting with members of the community. You know, we're going through some of these tools, we're learning about the flood app, Chris, and all kinds of things like that. So the reason we do that is so that you can share with your neighbors and they get the tools, and I'll just go through really fast. But so we give the information to our neighbors so they know what to do and they can help each other and they can help themselves, and hopefully they'll be more resilient and be better prepared and survive. During a storm and after a storm, those of us in emergency management are kind of stuck in one place. And people who are out in our neighborhoods can connect back to us because we have that connection now. And so if I'm in the Emergency Operations Center and I work for the county, your city has, you know, EOC too, and we work closely with them. But back at the EOC, I'm able to get things to you that you may need. I'm able to, you know, get people that may need to know, you know, we might be on the phone with St. Petersburg, you know, so working together, because we don't know what's going on in your neighborhoods if we don't have that connection.
And a lot of the supplies, if I could just add, Brother John, like when we delivered a lot of those supplies after Milton came, because Marion, the county, received a lot of things. So they asked us, who needs this? And we brought it to the community centers, to the rec centers, so that it could go out.
Yeah, there's people right here, you know, in this room that did that, and continuously, not only during, we have to get that water out, we have to, you know, but as recent as last Christmas, we're still giving out those cleaning supplies and that kind of thing. So in the Harbordale area, what happened was that one of our representatives from that neighborhood was texting me and saying, hey, you know what, we're flooded, we don't have what we need, how can we, you know, and so we were able to send supplies from the state over to where he was giving it out then at the mosque over there. So he was, you know, giving it out to his neighbors. Now, number one, we would have never known. We had a lot of people out there, but we don't know what's going on everywhere, you know. And number two, you know, he's already there with his neighbors and they were helping each other, which is all what we do, right? After, you know, everybody just naturally, I think, helps each other. Everybody has a heart for that. And so it's just a really good way to make, to have a connection to, you know, help each other. And we're continue to make lots more connections back and forth in the community. Next, please. Okay, you can just go to the next one. Cornelia already talked about all this. Yes, keep going, please. No questions for me?
No more questions.
I can't answer questions about the flood app. Except that it's really cool and it works good. So if you can just keep going. This is all,
Okay,
there we go.
there you go.
So next one, please. So one of the best tools that we have, I'm just going to go over three main ones really fast, okay? So one of the best tools we have is called Alert Pinellas. And you can sign up. It's a free community notification service. You can sign up for phone, email, or text, and to get alerts, emergencies, tornadoes, water, boil water notices, that kind of thing. Different municipalities use it in different ways. And I always tell people, if there's a storm coming, you have your own account, go in there, make sure you change it to text. There's a lot of times text will work when nothing else does. Okay, so you will be able to see evacuations, you'll be able to see where to get water, and be able, you know, the services, all of that. So that is like number one. Okay, and this is next one, please. And this is the kind of things that, you know, we share the information with. And as you know what the information is, then you can go again and you can help teach each other so that we're better prepared. Ready Pinellas is a very cool app. Download it on your phone. It's also a free app. It's very good for preparing. You know, so you have information, but you also can list your contacts. You can do inventory, your entire house. There's a checklist, which started with the checklist that's in here, but you can add your own stuff in there, put your insurance information, all of that. And then you can actually, upload it to the cloud, but it also, the phone. Gosh, I'm not sure what the terminology, and I just have to say that, but the phone keeps that memory. And it also gets the alerts too that Alert Pinellas sends out. So Ready Pinellas, and I have these cards over here, Alert Pinellas and Ready Pinellas, one on each side, so you can remember that really easily. And if you don't mind, the next one, please. And then the hurricane guide, and this is the last one. I did bring some.
I'll bring some over there in this.
Oh, okay. I'll leave some here at the center. You should have, maybe they're all gone already. But this has really your basics of the information that you could use to tell people that if you're going to save it, or you should save it, put it somewhere, read it now, cover to cover, and then save it with your emergency supply kit. Because there's stuff in here you probably really don't care about and won't remember, but you will, hopefully not. Hopefully you will not need any of this. Right?
But if you do, you have.
But good that you have it anyway, and also telling you ways to prepare, which, starting to stock up on some supplies a little bit at a time now. But also, next one, please. Everything. Oh, the special needs evacuation program that Erica mentioned. This is open to anybody who needs transportation to any shelter at all. There's also the special needs shelters that people who are dependent on electric medical devices like oxygen machine, or you have minimal medical conditions that you need a little bit of help. You can go ahead and register for the special needs evacuation program. There's information about it in this guide, okay? So I'm not going to go over all of it. Just if you're not sure if you are even going to use it, or even if you're eligible, go ahead and sign up. You sign up online, or you can send off for or call us, for a printed form. But very important. This is probably the most important program in my mind that we have. But if you think you might need it, go ahead and sign up. We call you beforehand to see if you want it, but if you call too late, after the emergency vehicles were brought in, the school buses are brought in, then, then you're literally, we can't help you until after everything's gone. So, so please check into that if you think, or if you know anyone. How many times have I heard people say, oh, I was just so worried, I'm on oxygen, I didn't know what to do. If only I had known to tell them about the special needs program. So as I said, just please look into that, if nothing else. That saves lives, literally. So, and here's our website, which has all of this, disaster.pinellas.gov. Just go there. From there, you can look up your evacuation zone. You can click over to the special needs page. You can sign up on that page. It's down a little bit. Alert Pinellas, all of that. So hurricane guide and disaster.pinellas.gov, and we could always update information as the incident progresses. We have some, recovery information about them too. So those are the big things. There's a lot that we, like to share with you, but we really more than that, we need the information you share with us, because otherwise, we don't know. So thank you.
Thank you.
And I'll wrap it up for us, but again, thank you, Brother John and the Neighborhood Association for having us and allowing us to present. Again, it's very important. We all know what happened when Helene and Milton came. We weren't prepared. So we don't want to be in that situation again. We want our families and we want our communities to be as safe as possible. So that means for me, as the community member of Storm Squad, is about the people, right? So again, we have ambassadors and captains and members in these neighborhoods. So tonight, this evening, before we wrap up, just wanted to, recognize Rebecca Johnson, who's here, who's a part of your neighborhood association, who's been a long time.
One of our first
captains, Storm Squad members. Treeslin is a member and has come to meetings in the beginning. Dr. Brian is here. We have Latrice, from Harbordale, I believe is still here. And this is what we do. We connect with the community. So if you know people in these neighborhoods, Harbor, Lake McGorry Shores, Bartlett Park, Campbell Park, Lilman, Bernali, correct?
Yes.
Anybody in those neighborhoods
Absolutely.
that may want to connect with Storm Squad, we have a sign-up sheet. And again, I'd just like to thank our ambassadors and everyone a part of Storm Squad. Mary, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask Rebecca, like, how did you get involved in Storm Squad? What benefits do you get from it?
All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Becca Johnson. I'm the Child's Park Neighborhood Association ambassador, now the captain as well. How I got involved with Storm Squad, I was introduced to Storm Squad through my place of worship. And it was amazing to be introduced to information that I had no idea that I would need. And I had it available to me. And I got engaged. I started going to monthly meetings, then going to the quarterly town hall meetings, and I started networking, getting more and more information. And again, I didn't know I was going to need it until I went through the storms that we all just endured, the hurricane season of 2020. I was actually personally impacted. So without those resources, I wouldn't know about legal terminology, emergency assistance, emergency FEMA, SNAP, emergency food stamps, emergency shelters. I have a lot of health problems where I had to register for the special needs shelter. I have not utilized it yet, but I didn't know I even qualified or one even existed. Yeah. And utilizing a CPAP machine and a nebulizer daily is very, very instrumental. So I'm grateful for the Storm Squad and neighborhood associations for basically putting me in tune and contact and staying active in my community.
That's good.
Jacqueline, did you want to share anything now? Okay. Dr. Bryant, you've been present for the rest with us.
Well, you wouldn't think that a doctor would need to be involved in Storm Squad. But I am involved primarily because with all these extreme weather events, people are unhealthy, and we know that these disparities in the African American community are exacerbated by these events. So the neighbors helping neighbors, you need to check on your sick neighbors. You know that your neighbors are sick, so it's important to check on them with these extreme weather events. If they have heart disease, that's going to get worse. Diabetes got to get worse, and asthma is worse with all these flooding.
Yeah.
So that's it. Here I'm involved in.
Excellent.
Latrice, you've been like right there with us from the very start. Do you have any words of wisdom?
Yes, I am, and I belong to the Harbordale Neighborhood Association, and the Storm Squad has been very, very instrumental in the information, and I give it to my neighbors and family and friends, try to help people. Because I have a CPAP machine and we have other different underlying issues. So it's nice to know I'm registered for the special needs here. And I was impacted by Milton, where it came in and ripped off part of the undersealing of my carport. So I was asking the Storm Squad about information about resources, and what is it, the repair people, et cetera. So they're very instrumental in helping things about things also. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. I'll talk to you next week.
And while we have a moment, I just also want to publicly thank you, Mary, for your response to our call when we did our community block party.
Yeah.
That's
and so I called Mary. I think the block party was Friday. I called her maybe Monday or Tuesday. We met up on a Wednesday to get the supplies that we were able to distribute to the community during the community block party micro activation. And so again, operating in the emergency response space, the response time was great, no issues, great challenges, and we were able to get the information to the community. And so I just want to thank you for your response.
Thank you.
Neighbors helping neighbors.
Thank you. Give it up, Mary. And all right, guys. So next on the agenda, we're going to get into a smell something, say something, air quality campaign update. And with that, we have Rachel Curran from the Jacob Farm.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for that introduction, Brother John. I'm an attorney with the Jacobs Law Clinic, and I represent the Charles Park Neighborhood Association. The Jacobs Law Clinic we're made up of environmental attorneys, law attorneys like trade. So that means that we protect communities and wildlife from developers and polluters. We were put in touch with the association a few years ago by one of our colleagues at the university, who told us about an ongoing campaign known as the Small Sensitive State. Many of you have noticed, but for several years now, decades even, the neighborhood smells. It is part of an industrial corridor, where the neighborhood surrounds an industrial corridor. But there's one facility in particular that a lot of people have complained about, and that regulators have identified as sources that smell quite often. I'm not saying it's the only source, but it is one, and they have violated the law. And that's known as Halco Environmental Services, and that is a used oil processing facility. It's basically a used oil refinery in the middle of a residential neighborhood. That facility is permitted to release particulate matter, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxides, arsenic, chromium, a couple other heavy metals, cadmium. So it's allowed to emit all of that, but it has limits, certain permit limits. What it is never allowed to emit, and what is a permit condition, it's never allowed to emit an objectionable odor. So we know they're violating that condition. The concern then being what else is the violation. So that is why we're involved. We don't take every case that comes our way, but this one seems particularly unjust. I'm sure you're aware there's a sort of a nationwide problem of polluting facilities being located in historically black communities, and this is no exception to that environmental injustice. So luckily, we tried many non-litigation ways to get a seat at the table and get this problem resolved. Submitted comments during the permitting process on behalf of the association, requested multiple public meetings. Oh, you guys can't hear me, sorry. We requested multiple public meetings by the Department of Environmental Protection, which is a state regulating agency. And I guess the state agency is so accustomed to ignoring this community's concerns that even when they hire an attorney, they still get ignored. And I have many unanswered emails and ignored requests. So that left us with litigation. Luckily, a neighbor of yours, David Stoddard, filed a pro se petition for administrative hearing on the permit renewal that Halco was late in applying for, which means they're currently operating without a permit.
Wow.
So we filed a hearing on DEP's decision to issue a new permit nonetheless, and that sort of holds the permit issuance and sets you up for a trial, basically, in an administrative court. We were able to put David in touch with an attorney, so he's now represented. That case is now at the Department of Administrative Hearings, and it's being scheduled, the hearing date. We're aiming for something close to the neighborhood so everyone can attend. And then the Neighborhood Association decided last week that they would intervene on behalf of that petitioner, which means they'll basically have party status as a plaintiff and be able to bring forth witnesses and cross-examine the agency's witnesses and just a full-blown out trial so that we can get to the bottom of what is causing this smell and get a remedy in place.
All right.
And so that's that important update. That's the culmination of years of advocacy that the Neighborhood Association has done. And this is likely what it's going to take to at least get some answers and a seat at the table. We don't know how it's going to end. These are typically pretty adversarial proceedings. So it's a heavy lift, but we're happy to do it.
Okay, and what can we do as a neighbor to keep it going?
So yeah, thank you for asking that. Now would not, if the facility is still operating and smelling, and I believe that it is, now would not be a time for those complaints to drop off.
Yes.
So if you smell something, say something, click fix.
Yes.
The only way we even have a case at all is because we have a record of complaints. And we have a record of violations that resulted from those complaints. So please continue to report.
So, they got to go through the trial, like you said, before they put a lock on it where they can't actually operate. They have to do all that before they do that.
So technically, they're not even supposed to be operating right now because their permit expired and they haven't gotten a renewal permit because of this pending litigation. So they're already sort of operating with impunity here. It's a matter of getting the regulators to enforce the law. At the end of this hearing, there is supposed to be a final permit decision that the agency makes, whether or not to let them operate or not going forward. So certainly that could be a remedy that's possibly thought, hey, lock it up, don't let them operate anymore. That's a pretty considered a pretty extreme remedy, like something that would be difficult to get, but it's certainly on the table.
Why is it difficult when they make the neighborhood sick? So I don't understand why it's difficult.
So yeah, I hear it's frustrating. I hear you. It should not be the case, but it is, and that's part of our broken regulatory system and broken decision making. And a lot of that is starts at the top, at the state administration, and those are political appointees.
The actual office.
Which office? For DEP?
Yeah.
So DEP has an office in Temple Terrace, which is quite far away, and then they have a delegated, like, sort of local air permitting agency that helps them manage complaints, and that's Pinellas County Air Quality Division, and they are located in Clearwater. Oftentimes that means when you guys make a complaint, by the time a regulator gets here to investigate, it either no longer smells or they just don't have the time to come here until the next day when the facility might not be operating. It is not operating 24/7. It's only on during certain times, and you can smell it when it's on.
Yes, you can.
So that's part of the issue. So even though, hundreds or more than 150 complaints that have been reported since the campaign launched, only a small fraction of those, I think less than 25, have been verified by an agency employee. But even though that is enough. So the more you guys complain as you smell, and it has to be a legitimate smell, don't go calling in something that you don't smell, then the more that can be verified.
We have some other questions too, Tamika, just want to be mindful of that, yeah.
Oh, I got one more question. I don't know if they have anything to do with it, but I collect rainwater and my rainwater is brown. So.
I'm not sure about that. I'd be happy to look into it, but we haven't even, retained experts yet in air permitting. I would be concerned about.
Just and Sierra. So here's the stat. We have Miss Lolita, Rebecca, Sierra, and then Sharon Joy.
Okay. My question was, just hypothetically speaking, if they did close down and they're no longer able to use that land, who is that land privy to anyone purchasing it, or would they have to be responsible for making sure that it's not contaminated and that sort of
Sure,
thing?
yeah, so the facility does have contamination from some former leases in the 90s, actually, like ground contamination. And they haven't cleaned that up yet, but they would still be a property owner, just because they're not able to use your property in the way that you want to anymore. You still own the property, so they would be welcome to do
Whatever
they want, sell, not sell. It'd be hard to turn a profit on a property that's not able to be permitted,
Okay.
so likely it would be a sort of money pit in that case, but yeah, it doesn't take away anyone's property, right?
Okay.
Thank you. Rebecca?
Yes, I wanted to know, when was the company established here in Charles Park, as well as when did this first air quality issue become a concern?
Sure. So I've seen news reports stating that people have been complaining since the 80s. And the facility opened in 79, I believe, 78, 79. So it's been here in the industrial corridor, and it many ways sort of predated the neighborhood. But it doesn't mean that they get to do whatever they want. It's still the law that you can't be objectionable to your neighbors. So yeah, they've been around for quite a while, in violation for quite a while. We only have record though of the actual odor complaints. There's a few maybe, I think, in the file, like in dating back to 2009, but most of them are since the 2021. So basically campaign. So there really wasn't a record that anything wrong was happening here until the association launched that. Thank you.
Thank you. Sierra and then Sharon Joy.
So the DEP does a lot of, I didn't know what that means.
Oh, I'm sorry, the Department of Environmental Protection, they're headquartered in Tallahassee, that is their state, like EPA, the state version of EPA, that is what the Department of Environmental Protection is in Florida, and they are the ones that issue these types of permits for facilities like this, so air, used oil, hazardous waste permitting. And then the county just sort of helps them with enforcement, but they don't make the permitting decision. So it's not up to the county to say, no, you can't operate anymore. So this is really DEP's call.
Okay.
And which is unhelpful when they're so far removed from the neighborhood.
Thank you.
Thank
And Sharon Joy.
Thank you. It sounds like you all have been working diligently. Doesn't sound like the system works for the citizens. Okay, so that's the gap. I'm curious what Kona is responding to this issue. I'm curious what the city council, how they are responding. And I'm curious how the mayor is responding, because the system is, because I've been here hearing these reports for several years. And it's almost like you turn the tape on and it's the same story, and it's unconscionable. And I think there's enough of us learning lessons about innovative democracy. And I'm just curious, is there a group that might want to present this to Kona as a first step? Because that to me is a leverage point in the city council and then the mayor, not eliminating all three of them, just you are a neighborhood association, whatever process would be appropriate, I don't know.
Right.
But all three, Kona, city council, the mayor, and representative to the state. So I don't know who your representative is.
Yeah, there's certainly room for broader advocacy ideas. Litigation is only one piece of a broader campaign, and that campaign is in existence though. There is a campaign, and Brother John and the rest of the board and then the Child Park Neighborhood Association has been in discussions with the city, especially for given.
So if I'm remembering correctly, this whole part of Stetson was funded by Dick Jacobs. Is that correct?
Yes.
And he was very passionate about democracy. And that's part of the process. And that part didn't happen.
Right. Well, part of democracy is access to the courts, and that's why we're taking this route when we haven't had access to the other branches. So
thank you for your representation.
Yes.
And I definitely note that. Thank you. Those are great ideas, Sharon Joy. Ms. Tomlin?
I just wanted to say, I wonder if everyone in here is aware. Could you just make a statement or two about what we're trying to do through her?
Sure. We're trying to shut the facility down.
Yeah.
Really long story short, this facility has been operating for nearly 50 years.
What facility?
Halco Environmental Services, and it's right here on 43rd Street and 8th Avenue South. So when you're going, what is that, north on 43rd, you'll see those towers, those big silos. And it just, you can see that it's clearly out of place. And if you ever been by there, you ever been at the lake at certain times of the day, you'll get this whiff of, this horrible smell. And it's the facility has been identified as the origin of that smell. And so to Rachel's point, when we first started, raising it as a concern, the feedback that we got or the response we got back from the county was, well, we don't have any complaints. So that's why we launched the Smell Something, Say Something campaign to increase the number of complaints. And because of the advocacy, because of you all, residents who have filed complaints, it began to get more attention. We got some earned media around it as well. And so to be at this place now is a direct result, I would say, of the advocacy that's been done. And again, the end game is for this facility to be shut down, removed from our community. And then what we intend to do is begin having some visioning sessions, to Ms. Lolita's point, about if Halco was not there, what would we as a community like to see in that place? Of course, there's some remediation and, you know, you got to do some contamination. But if we had, you know, this block in our community right here to do something with, what would we like to see in that space? And so we'll begin to organize around that. However, we're in that process right now. And again, this is, you kind of downplaying it, but like, this is huge.
Yeah.
Because we went for years with being ignored. We sent out emails saying we want to get an administrative hearing. Those were ignored, and then they would respond with an intent to issue permits without consulting with us. And so to be at this place right now where we can intervene and we can interject ourselves in that process is a huge accomplishment. And so I just want to say thank you to our attorneys, and also thank you to you as community.
Yeah.
Again, because if it wasn't for, you know, people say, I don't complain, but like we got to reserve the right to make a complaint.
That's true.
And so definitely want to say thank you for that. And also, if you haven't ever filed a C-Click Fix air quality complaint,
do it
and do it right away. Because to Rachel's point, now that we will be moving through this litigation, we want to make sure that we're consistent with our reporting so that they see that this thing is still happening, even though they're not supposed to be operating. And so, you know, I was actually riding by and I pulled over because I smelled it, and just pulled over to the side of the road. And it takes maybe 5 to 7 minutes to actually do a C-Click Fix.
Yeah.
It's very easy to do it. And you just go to the app on your phone and C-Click Fix. You can take a picture of the towers. It'll get your location. The location that I used was the location of where the facility is, and then submitted it, sent it in, and then again, you follow that same process, but we want to make sure that we continue to complain. If you've been impacted, or if you know somebody who's impacted, have them reach out to us, because as a part of this process also, we'll be looking for people to come in to share their stories, talk about the impacts that it's had on them, the impacts that it's having on their quality of life. And so as we begin to ramp up, it's going to be a lot, and it's going to move quick for the way that I understand it. Like, it take a long time to get here, but when we get here, it just moves really quickly. And so we want to make sure that we stay engaged.
Yeah, I'm gonna say something really quickly. The reason why I asked about the time frame of when it was an issue and when it was recognized is because I formerly lived at 4263 Fifth Avenue South for 10 years, from 07 to 2017. And I had a lot of hospitalizations for my asthma, my migraine, seizures, my anemia, on and go. So we can pull up records of it, and that can help, even though I don't have no actually C-Click Fix and things like that. But the medical records will speak for itself.
Yes.
Hospitalization.
All right.
Yes.
We were looking for her, so I think we found her.
Yeah.
So please make sure that y'all connect.
Yes.
Tonight afterwards. But again, thank you, Rachel. Thank you to the Jacobs Law Clinic. And again, thank you to everyone. Last one, Sharon.
Another on the list 4 is the Department of Health for Florida, Florida Department of Health. Environmental health.
Yeah. And I think, is that what you were, Ms. Stockman, at the department?
I worked there 25 years.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
We got
Thank you.
something. Because when I was leaving there, I was still concerned about the number of repeat hospitalizations for children with asthma.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again. That's our Smell Something, Say Something update. And now we get into our committee updates. And so first up is our membership committee. Ms. Robin.
I hope everybody signed in tonight. It's very important when we come to these meetings to sign in either manually, or you can use the QR code there on the table. I text over 50 people to come to the meeting tonight, because you do have a voice. Like we have all these voices tonight, we do have a voice. And for a family, it's $25 a year. That's a year, y'all, $25 a year, $40 for nonprofit a year, and $50 for a profit. And that's not asking too much to voice your opinion over, we live in this neighborhood. So if you haven't joined our neighborhood association, please do so tonight. And when you do, I will be calling or texting you to inform you of what's going on. Like tonight, this was very important meeting tonight, so I can keep you informed.
Thank you.
And thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll get an update from Community Engagement and Communications, Montana.
Hello. Okay, so I just have two quick things. All right, who has their phone with them?
Everybody.
Who has Instagram on their phone?
We all do.
Okay, everybody who has it, pull up your Instagram app, please.
All right.
Grab those phones, pull out that Instagram app. My Facebook.
This is interactive.
Instagram.
This is the interactive portion of the meeting.
Yes. So we have a new Instagram page. It is My Child's Park. When you have your Instagram up, type in My Child's Park, follow. Awesome. And then those of you who don't but have it at home on your computer, just do it when you get home. My Child's Park, very easy. Awesome. And so that's new. We'll be getting that activated and connected to our Facebook and be getting information out through Instagram as well as Facebook. So follow us in all the places. And then the second thing is that we are in the process of fleshing out an internship program for high schoolers. So if you know any high schoolers that are interested in any kind of career in communications or marketing, we are going to be having a social media position. We're going to need help with events. We are going to need help with our newsletter and our website. So if you do know any kids that might be interested in that, please have them send their information to childsparkneighborhood@gmail.com. So that's how you can reach out and get more information about that. Start plugging the kids' ears about opportunities that we have going on. Okay, cool. Any questions? Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right. And I'm gonna come back to you, Ms. Lily.
Okay.
Health and wellness.
Good.
Ms. Lily, you'll take us home.
Oh, Lord.
Health and wellness update.
All right, so we have our monthly neighborhood wellness walk this weekend. We need volunteers, we need members, and for our committee. What else? We have several events coming up. Our senior wellness, do we have flyers?
We have it on.
Okay, Senior Wellness Day, so we need all our seniors. It's June 6th from 11 to 2. And then,
Tell us about that. How did we come up with a senior wellness day?
so the seniors asked for it. They asked
Been
for,
waiting.
they asked for, something for them. So we created the Senior Wellness Day where we'll be doing, movement, what else will we be doing? Activities such as arts and crafts, games. We have a senior forum where the seniors can tell us what they think, what they want to do, stuff like that. And we'll have some good food and some entertainment. What else?
But what's the age? What is considered seniors?
Seniors 50 and up.
Okay.
Well, I'm a senior.
All right, go ahead. We just want to know.
55. 55. 55.
I was gonna say the.
Wait. I'm doing the AARP number. So 55 and up, and then, yeah, it's intergenerational, so we want all ages to be there, to mingle and act and engage with the seniors. And then, anything else about the thing? And then, the community sports day is July 11th. It'll be here at Child's Park. That'll be our second one for the year. It's neighborhood against another neighborhood. So we're trying to get another neighborhood involved. Right now, we're working with Wildwood Heights. It's the battle of the neighborhood. So we'll be doing basketball, baseball, field games, activities, all of that stuff. What else? That's July 11th. And then Friday, right, that's not in health and wellness, but that's.
June, yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah. Okay. And so neighborhood wellness walk this weekend. What else?
We got.
Zoom is Thursday.
What else? So.
Y'all gonna be sending that out?
Yeah.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, we'll absolutely make sure that we get it out.
It's on Facebook too.
So we'll send this out to everyone, but it's also on our neighborhood association Facebook page.
Yes.
And so if you want to stay up on all of the events that are happening, you can go to the neighborhood association Facebook page, hit that events button,
And that events button has all of the things that we're doing. So you see the monthly meetings, you see the monthly wellness walks, the Zumba, program is on there, as well as other opportunities for you to engage around health and wellness.
Okay, that's it. Oh, we need volunteers for all of these events, so we
Yes.
need everybody to sign up. Do we have a volunteer link?
Will be sent.
Sign
Sign in.
out.
Sign in, she's going around.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me a piece of paper. We
Very
need some
robust.
volunteers. Who want to volunteer and help us out?
All right, thank you, Teresa Lynn, and the Health and Wellness Committee. Great job.
Yeah.
And then we'll get into, this will be like a dual purpose, so you can do resource development and your treasurer report.
Okay. All right, yes, the Resource Development Committee and Fundraising Committee has been busy.
Yes.
We trying to make an honest attempt to get support through partnerships, past, present, and future or potential partners to come on board, not just for from a financial aspect, but we're looking at any type of support, in kind, volunteerism, monetary donation, wherever. We're a community and we want to really interact and, be unified and work together. So like Tresselyn said, with the community day, we're looking at partnering with Wildwood. So we want to do other neighborhoods as well. So with that being said, some of the events that we're doing, we have partnered with Moffitt Cancer Center, and we are doing wait a minute, I'm getting mixed up now. Moffitt Cancer Center, we're doing the Truth Behind the Vape, which is really geared towards youth anywhere from, and we went like elementary, because youth in elementary are vaping and smoking. So 10 years old to anywhere from 20, 21 years old. And we're having a workshop that's tentatively going to be July 18th, I think, right after the first Friday night done right pool party. So we'll be introducing that on that date. And we're planning on having that to be very interactive and, not just educational, but interactive and providing a lot of resources, information, and shows how vaping is harmful, not just to people using it, but people around it, and how it affects the people that's using it, their families, friends, colleagues, and that sort of thing. And then we are also partnering with Moffitt as far as they are supporting through our Tampa Bay Community Cancer Network. They are supporting our events like the Step Aside Cancer campaign, the breast cancer awareness event, whatever else is going on. So Moffitt is becoming a big part in that, because we believe that even though these are fun activities geared towards being informative and education, health has to always be priority. If we're not healthy, we can't do anything. And I mean health in all aspects, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, all of that. So that's imperative. We have also applied for the Achiever Credit Union sponsorship event request, and we put in a request for that. So hopefully we'll get some sponsorship from Achieva in supporting us in our endeavors. And I think, and with that, I want to just add, I know Brother John is going to talk on the topic, the Know Your Rights event on Friday that's coming up, but we are looking for, did you want to cover that? What we're looking for? Okay. We are looking for individuals to assist outside of volunteers. If you have any skill set to help us with technical support, setting up the event technical wise, if you would like to help us and assist with registration, sign in, and tabling, that would be 2 separate tables. We will have a registration table, sign in, then we will also have a tabling where someone would tell them about what's going on with Child's Park and the different opportunities and events that we're doing. And we'll also need assistance with set up, one person to set up and help the board members and volunteers to set up and close down on the event. We are offering small monetary appreciation for this assistance. So if you're interested, see me later on any of those things that I have mentioned. to see if you are willing to, assist us. And like I said, we'll give you a small monetary appreciation donation for your time and efforts and making sure these events are good. And that's about it. And as far as our financial report, as it stands as of May 19th, 2026, for the Foundation of Healthy St. Pete grant, we have a remaining balance of $2,104.08. For your Know Your Rights grants, which we will be sponsoring the event on Friday for, and that's going to be allocated. We still have to pay for food and other supplies and materials, but presently we have a balance of $2,500.01. The 1 cent is the little thing they sent to make sure our account is valid. So that's why it's a 1 cent shop. Membership dues, we have a balance of $633.04. Operation Par, which sponsors our Friday Night Done Right events, we have a balance of $1,416.57. The spring break takeover, that was our first event we had. We cleared that out, zero balance. And unrestricted funding, we have a balance of $895.73. So our total in the account as it stands as of today for Childs Park Neighborhood Association is $7,549.43.
Thank you very much.
I think you gotta be the hardest working treasurer.
Hey, you gotta be on top of that money, especially other people money, you know?
All right, and so that completes our committee updates, and what we'll do now, we'll get into our announcements and engagement opportunities. We have 3.5 minutes left, so we're gonna try and make it very, very quick. But we just want to remind you again, this Friday, as we're doing the Human Rights Workshop, that's what's going around. You should be getting a flyer for that. You see all of the things that are happening in the world, particularly in the state right now around voting and voting rights. And so a lot of us worked back in 2018 aggressively to restore voting rights to returning citizens. I just got a report today that there's been a 29% decrease in African-American voter registration in Pinellas County. And so because of the combination of the voter polls, purges, and a lot of the changes that they've made, thousands of voters have been removed from the rolls. And so this workshop basically is for returning citizens to know that they do have rights and to be able to provide them with information on how to restore their voting rights, as well as assistance with paying for fees and fines. One of the caveats to the law is that you can't register to vote if you have outstanding fees and fines. We've partnered with the Florida Rights Restoration Coalition, and they will be providing assistance on how to apply to get your fees and fines paid. So please share this with your friends, your family members, and those who can benefit from that service. Or if you just like to know more about the process yourself, we're inviting you to come out. It'll be this Friday, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Dominion Worship Center, 4016 12th Avenue South. And then now is the space where we'll open it up if there's any other community announcements from the audience. I'm looking at Lama.
All right, two things, so let's see, let's talk about yours. But every last Saturday, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, we have instant breakfast right here in the park. Our theme this month is Celebration Day. It's somewhere in white. If you want to learn more, check out Bay Area Food Defenders. That's on Instagram. Yeah, if you want to talk a little bit about safety.
One thing to people on the air part, I am part of the intergenerational committee of Childs Park. We are actively part of the senior wellness event that's coming up. Wetley is one of our committee members of the senior wellness. And so Wetley is also of helping what we're doing with the Save Our Street campaign. One of our acts has been at City Council with the budget is intentionally doing something. So we believe the city shows what they care about, where they put their money. And so during the years and acts of after we talk to the community, what makes your streets feel safe and what's the lack thereof not having safe places for our young people. So in a part of that, our ask from the mayor is what does that look like? And what's one of the things that, we're demanding, asking is that there is a youth-led initiative that, brings in youth, they get paid, they get the same benefits as the city. But then this is also connected to, a real community liaison. And I say real because one who actually shows up in events like this to get the information, to spread the information. And so again, as a part of getting our youth involved, Wesley has been very, very active in helping us do that. So she's gonna help gear off the Save Our Street initiative with the young people to be the first young person to go to the Child's Park for that. And then she's also a part of the intergenerational committee, again, because our seniors asked for a space. Now we want to intentionally connect the stories between the young and our seasoned, because we believe that there is solutions in there that we'll miss if they don't come together. And so, that's it. And then I'll pass it, who else is next? I
I saw a hand in the back.
Oh, hold on, Mr. Michael, voluntold Mr. Michael to be here tonight, because we met him today at the so he does,
Okay.
basketball, and we want to do basketball, so
Okay, and Mr. Michael, I'm sorry, we just gotta do 30 seconds because it's 8 o'clock and they might come and flip that light. in a
Yes.
second.
These tables are-
Real quick, my name is Leslie. What we come to the community with is called Lions-led gaming. It's competitive gaming. You know, a lot of teams like to play gaming. So we want to do a game opportunity. I also plan on actually doing in the summer basketball tournament as well. Give an opportunity to play in that. Everybody, I really want to work with teams, really bad, especially trouble ones and maybe ones that need a little bit of extra attention. We were just here this past weekend, Saturday and Sunday. We had intent on throwing a tournament, but unfortunately only a few teams showed up with ones with sick and their money. So we wanted to have their tournament, but we did always get up for a free play, and snacks, and sodas, and Saturday and Sunday.
Right, thank you. Brother Michael, I want to make sure that you connect with our vice president, because y'all really speaking the same
Yeah.
language. So please don't leave without seeing him so that we can move that forward.
And thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This will be the last one I saw you.
Hi everyone, my name is Lauren Hubbard and I come and spend every third Saturday here in Child's Park. I'm Miss Lolita.
Hi.
We run an organization called All the World's Kids and we provide art therapy for free with snacks, lunch provided. But we have a group of regular youth that show up every third Saturday that know we're going to be here. So I just wanted to extend the invite and obviously our support to the neighborhood association and join as a member as well to show that we're in this with you while we're not right here. We are right here. This is the park that we choose every third Saturday. And so we're here to help make that activated and do what we can. So hope to see you every third Saturday. And it's 11 to 1.
11 to 1 every third Saturday.
Yes.
And this is last for real last. This is the for real last. Shelley, do you have anything that you like to?
Everyone should have got this Hurricane Expo. It's Hurricane Expo and City Hall on tour.
Tell them who you are.
Shelley Los, Director of Stakeholder Community Engagement, safety.
Thank you.
And combine the City Hall on tour, so every department in the city that you would interact with will be there represented. And then they'll ask, there's, I think, 20 some different vendors that will have some type of supply to give you to start building your kit for hurricane prep.
Okay.
Well, thank you everyone. And I appreciate y'all being here. And this concludes our meeting for the night.
Thank
You at work.